What was your biggest win in a day?
In 87 in the crash, I made $1.4 million in like 13 seconds.
What do you mean, like 13 seconds?
13 seconds. Like
how it can be?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1.4 million.
What was the size of the position?
It was the 300 contracts. In 1987, when the crash came, that Black Monday, that Friday.
I read about it.
I wasn't there. I was in Europe. I was actually in Lugano, Switzerland. I left Friday afternoon, short 20 contracts, or it's Friday morning before Black Monday. And by the time I got to O'Hare Airport from downtown Chicago, I was up $250,000 on a trade. So I got out of it and I told my clerk, hey, send everybody, I had about 5 clerks who worked for me. I said, send everybody on vacation. You go on vacation. I'll be back in a week. Make sure you flatten me out because, I think there's going to be a big bounce on Monday morning.
You expected this?
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a big bounce, right? Because up to that Friday, people don't realize, guys, 1987, I don't think, were you born yet?
1991. It was far long ago before my date of birth.
So in 1987, if the Dow moved 30 points, that was headline news. The high in 1987 was 3,500. What are we at now? 40,000?
40,000, yeah.
Something like that. So it was 3,500, and it lost 50% of its net worth within 3 days when you take in money. Too. We went to Europe, a bunch of guys. Right? Okay. So we're in Lucerne, Switzerland, and I drive down into town, and I go to Piaget, and I want to buy my wife a watch because I was in Europe screwing around with a bunch of guys, right?
Yeah.
I'd bring her home a watch. Right? I just made $250,000, right? As I was sitting there, I'm looking outside, and it looked like the Zurich Bank building. I saw the ticker tape literally going. It said the Dow was down 500 points. And I'm like, hey, there's got to be something wrong with that. That thing's broke. And the guy goes, oh, no, monsieur, don't you know? The United States stock market crashed today, and so on. So I was running out of the store, and the clerk was going, hey, can I have my watch back? I had the watch in my hand. So I gave him the watch. I went back to the hotel, and there was a phone call from my wife and my brother. I said, you got to get home. Louis, he goes, I made like $500,000 today. And if you were here, you'd have made $5 million. He goes, it was crazy. The world is melting. I think they're going to close this place. So how was I going to get home? So I called British Airlines and got on the Concorde. So literally.
It was at times when the Concorde was already
was flying.
Wow.
Right? So literally what I did was I flew from Switzerland to
Chicago.
London, to London. I got on the Concorde and then flew to New York. And then from New York, I went to the trading floor and I got there Tuesday afternoon. Literally, I was one of the guys who flew to Concorde, which was really cool. I mean,
because I get it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's 3-hour flight.
All of them was quite stressed. But you, after this flight...
Well, and on top of that, I had some positions on.
Yeah, sure.
I had some Eurodollar call options on. And my credit card wouldn't work. I was trying to get it to work on the phones. Back then, you had to put the credit card in. I don't know, it was worn out or it wasn't, So I looked at the stewardess and I took out a $100 bill. I go, here's $100. Let me use your credit card. She goes, what? I go, let me use your credit card. She gave her credit card. Now I called the floor. I had this Eurodollar position where I was long 1,094 calls, and they had gone in the cabinet. So they really are expiring worthless. And then at 94 calls, the market was at like 92.50. And then that morning, after Black Monday, the market opened up at like 94.5. So I had like $1 million made on that call position, and I didn't know about it because I was on a plane flying back. So by the time I got back to the floor Tuesday afternoon, that position was worth about $250,000. So I liquidated it, got out, and then I went on trading that day. I made another couple $100,000 that day, and then I made like Wednesday, I made like $150,000, and then that Thursday was the famous trade that's been written up in a lot of different trading things. And so what happened was the Shearson broker walks into the pit, and we're getting a pre-morning call before the markets open, right? So it's about 2 or 3 minutes before the market opened. He's looking at me, he goes, what are you doing? I go, I don't know, what are you doing? He goes, so there's you got to remember, there's a big octagon with 500 people in it, but there are always people that were market makers, and I was one of the biggest traders. So people were always looking for me for, some sort of opening market call or whatever. So the guy looks at me and he goes, I'm 1,000 lower. I go, yeah, well, I'm 2,000 lower. And he goes, well, I'm 3,000 lower. He goes, well, I'm 4,000 lower. Well, I'm 5,000. The bell rings and I go, buy him. But he had already got tackled by a bunch of guys and people behind me. One of the brokers says, I'll sell you 300. I go, where? He goes, I don't care. I'll sell them at the low. I don't care. I'm out, right? He was just trying to fill his order. And by the time I wrote it down on my card and so on, I'm looking, the market was just quiet. I mean, like we were 5,000 lower. This is before there were market circuit breakers. And nobody's like, we're all looking at each other.
And it's quiet.
It's like, we're shocked that the market opened 5,000 lower. And then a rush of energy comes in with all these buyers. We're buying the market, pulling up. So I get an attention of a guy across the pit, and I go, he goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm a seller. He goes, I got 200. I sold him 200. Then another guy, I'll sell you 50. So now I'm trying to get flat, right? Because I had bought like 300. I bought some other little stuff of the S&P futures that morning. And then I gave my clerk my cards. I had a clerk that always stood next to me and was like, did all my instant P&L, right? So they would get all my buys, this and that, and make sure what my position.
So you walks in a pair?
Yes.
I get it.
So we had to know if, if I was not short or not long. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Because I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I get it.
All I did was make trades and
trades and
doing everything, right?
You need someone.
So she comes back and she goes, if I'm right, you win. Well, you made $1.4 million. I go, what? He goes, you made $1.4 million. I started shaking and I walked out of the pit and I went in the washroom and I just threw up. I mean, I was like thinking that in my mind, I was thinking everything I've been working for and the money I was making, I could have lost it in a matter of seconds if that market just kept going. It was 5,000 lower. What if it went 10,000 lower, right? Fortunately for me, that didn't happen. And that's the famous error that was made by Shearson. People don't realize that for the longest time, George Soros always cleared Shearson. And that's because that error cost $60 million. And what happened was they had a 2,500 lot, and then that 2,500 lot, they put it in twice. So instead of selling 2,500, they sold 5,000. And now they realized they had to get out of it. It cost a lot of money, and Shearson had to eat it, So that was the folklore of why he always cleared Shearson. Funny, it was about a year later, Shearson and George Soros sued the S&P pit.
Oh.
And then they named me.
Really?
Yeah, me and two other guys, and they were like, so, we go to deposition. I don't even have a lawyer. I'm looking at the guy, and he goes, well, what made you say the market's going to be 1,000 lower? I go, I felt it was going to be 1,000 lower. He goes, well, what if it wasn't? I go, I don't know. What does it matter? He goes, well, how could you say that you're going to sell it 1,000 lower? I said, you see this badge here? I bought a membership. I have money in my account, and I get to make a market. And I made the market. He goes, well, you said 1,000, and we went through the whole story, 2,000, 3,000. Yeah. He goes, then you wanted to buy it. I go, I thought it was a good buy at 5,000 lower. And so they were trying to say that we colluded.
Yeah, right? And
they
tried to
disclose the order. Yeah. And, of course, it never went anywhere, but it was interesting, right? It used to be the thing about open arc credit.